Howdy, folks. What a beautiful day for a podcast. And now the dapper Tim Wahlberg approaches the mic.
Hey, podcaster. I'm Tim Wahlberg, your podcast performance coach, with another actionable tip so you can sound like a pro and gain more podcast fans. Today's tip is stop the play-by-play of your podcast.
This is where Tim really gets into the heart of the matter. Let's listen.
Some podcasters feel they have to announce every part of their podcast as they're doing it. I hear things like, I'm going to introduce my guest now. She's a speaker and motivator. I'm going to ask you a few questions now, and my first question is this. Now this is part of the show where I'll give you advice on following your passions. In this next segment, I'm going to bash my brains in because I can't take it anymore.
This is where Tim takes you back to his radio career for a real swell story.
I'm reminded of one of my favorite broadcasters I worked with in the past. He was a brilliant syndicated radio talk show host who always used to say, "Get on with it." He didn't mean it to become his catchphrase. He just really wanted his callers and sometimes his guests to get on with it. He really meant it. All he was doing was thinking about his listener. He cared about his listener. He didn't want you to waste their time. His name is Peter Warren. There's a great video about him at the bottom of my show notes to episode 11 on my website. I invite you to watch it to get some inspiration on how effective you can be as a communicator, a storyteller, and an entertainer.
This is part of the show where Tim tells you why you should kill the commentary.
Your listener doesn't need to know that your show is so unoriginal that you're just following a template. As a podcast listener, I don't need to know every element of your podcast. I assume you know what you're doing. You're going to intro the topic, bring on a guest, ask some questions, then say goodbye. Stop telling me what you're about to do and just do it. I really can't figure out why podcasters do this. If you're using it as a stall tactic, don't. Get on with it. Is it scripted in your notes? Erase it. Get on with it. Are you prepping your guest for what's coming next? I think they know it's another question. Just get on with it. Don't want to catch your listener off guard with an unexpected segment? Catch them off guard. Surprise the hell out of them. They'll love it. Heck, you might even wake them up. Just get on with it.
Now this is where Timmy really comes through with the takeaway. Brace yourselves.
Keep your show moving forward. Every time you announce what you're going to do before you do it, you stall out your show. You're losing momentum. Stop doing it. Erase it from your script or edit it out in post. Your show will sound more slick, you'll keep your listener and your guest on their toes, and you'll sound more like a pro. And I hope that's just the tip you need.
There it is, folks. Another super podcast in the books. One for the ages, no doubt. I tell you, gang, Tim's the cat's meow when it comes to podcasts. He really gives it to you straight. He doesn't pull any punches and always delivers on his promise. Actionable tips you can use to improve your podcast the next time you hit record. Just imagine what Tim Wahlberg could do for your podcast performance. Yes, you too can sound more like a pro and gain more podcast fans. Why not get in touch with him today? Just head on over to podcastperformancecoach.com to book your coaching session. In the words of Tim Wahlberg,